Hi everybody, this is Diane. I am in between journal projects right now, and so I decided to spend some time this Friday afternoon creating some ephemera, just for random projects. So I've been watching quite a few YouTube videos, some older, probably most of them were older. And I have 3 projects that I thought these would be fast and easy. I don't know what videos they came from. I was watching a lot over the last week. So I got to start on them, and we're going to finish them in this video. I have 3 different ones. I think I said that. So the first one I started with 10 because they were super quick. And they are very easy, and I've done similar things, and you probably have too. But they are vintage index cards. These are slightly aged looking, and they're heavier than index cards you can buy now. And I just put fabric tabs or swatches at the top. Just sewed them on with brown thread with my sewing machine. This is the hem of a handkerchief. And then and they're fine just like this. I could just use them like this. But to make them a little more interesting, I'm going to put just a little border at the bottom. And I have these paper borders that I made with my new die set that you may have seen in a video a few weeks ago. I think that would be perfect on it. But I also have some other border papers to use, not just these dies. I'm going to use this though because I really like the way that yellow looks with that little bit of yellow up there. This is the 3rd video I'm making today because I had my journal project completely finished on Wednesday morning, the Heidi journals, and then I took the pictures. I don't think I even took the pictures on Wednesday. I had things going on. I had to leave the house on Wednesday. And I think I went to my parents'. Yeah, I did. I went to my parents and cooked for them, and my sister decided to come out too. One of my sisters. The other one can't because she's watching her grandchildren during the days. Anyway, I wasn't here for the rest of the day on Wednesday. And so Thursday, I could also do a yellow here because there's yellow. That looks good. We'll stick with this for now. Thursday, I took pictures of the Heidi journals and got the listings ready. And then today, Friday, I published the listings this morning. And the journals sold, and I was selling some of the Pioneer Woman ribbon, and that sold too. All of those. I only had 3 bundles in there, and that all sold. So that's pretty awesome. But anyway, I've had time since I finished the journals Wednesday morning. Whatever time I had down here, I've been straightening up and cleaning, and I still have to vacuum, but I can do that tomorrow. But the rest of the room is pretty tidy. And I wanted to do these little ephemera things. It didn't require me getting out a lot of ephemera. So I've been doing that for a little while. We have a lot of red. Maybe I will use all these pieces. I'm thinking I could add something else to these too. This is my little box of little boxes, and they have hole reinforcements in different sizes that are die cut, some buttons that are die cut, and a few other things. Got a few numbers in there. So one of the things I want to do is fill up these little boxes with die cuts, and that's going to take a while. So let's see the buttons. The buttons is what I was looking for when I got the box down. Sometimes sometimes I have a hard time opening these boxes. See, I just have a few buttons in here that are just yellow and red, so I need to make more. And of course, when I say buttons, I mean paper buttons. So I'll glue those on later. And I might add some stuff to these also. But for now, I'm just going to do the border. I think I can use this. It's a wider piece. And then when I decide to use these in a journal, I could take a small illustration or something. Maybe I shouldn't put buttons and things on it until I know what book it's going in, because I could, if I was putting this in a little golden book about a little duck, I could put a little duck on there. Who knows? I could customize these for the journal. Now let's do one with some of these other borders that I have. I have these borders that are K & Company and Anna Griffin borders. I think the Anna Griffin borders are a little too fancy for this project, but they're sticker borders. These are the K & Company ones, so they're pretty old, because K & Company, I don't think K & Company exists anymore. Am I wrong? Maybe I could just put a couple of tickets here instead of a whole strip. And then I would probably add another embellishment here. That's a fun one. And of course, you could just use thin strips of scrapbook paper. Or pieces of lace or rickrack or whatever. Another thing I wanted to say was you don't have to do the sewing. I think I did sewing on all three of these little projects, but you could just glue and that would be fine. I love these K & Company stickers. I'm just going to select pieces now and glue them later. This one has a cute little bunny with a butterfly on his nose. Little square of fabric I had left over. So all I have to do is glue those 3 strips on, and I will have 10 index card journal cards all ready to go. And that takes care of project number 1. Oh, I had this out to go on something. I probably already glued something on it, which is fine. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was going to go on this one, actually. But I like that better. So I'll save that pretty trim for something else. Let's clear away these pieces so I can move on to the next project. This had just strips of cut off scrapbook papers that I could have used for borders too. What's next? Okay, this one is pretty simple, and it took a little bit longer, but not much. None of these took very long. So I saw a video that had, or I don't know if it was a video or even in a magazine, but it had an image on cardstock, and I used both colored and solid cardstock for this project, or patterned and solid. And one side is a little wider. And then they had quilt instruction book patterns. So it would have been a quilt piece pattern on the back, and I couldn't find any. So I have this cross stitch, which I forgot to trim this part off before I cut it to size. So I'll put some washi tape or something on there, or a strip of that paper. So I took my image and put it on cardstock and cut around it so you could see some of the paper. This part will all be covered up. And then I cut this paper the same height as my card, and then wider so it could fold over. So I'm just going to glue it. You can see that I stitched around the image, and I just have 5 of these cards prepped because they did take a little bit longer. And just glue it to the back of the paper, the book page. You could probably find some digitals. I think I have some digitals of black and white or cream and black embroidery patterns and stuff like that, if you wanted to have this effect. And then I'll put glue on this flap. And then you have this on the back, which you could you could write on that if you wanted to with a red ink. That would show up on it. Or glue a little memo piece of paper or something. I'll use this for an example. Just glue something on it where you can still see the design and you can write on that or something like that. I'm going to see if I have a wide enough washi tape. For the cutting boo-boo. She's in blue, so I think this will work. Yeah, that would be perfect. And this is sticky. It's Tim Holtz fabric washi. And I don't know. I'm going to stick it on with its own sticky backing, and if it starts to come loose, I will glue it. Feels pretty sticky. So there's a really cute journal card, and I could put a tab on it or lace or fabric or something if I wanted to. If it goes in a side pocket, I could put a tab here, so I won't be adding those things until I know where the card is going. Here's another one. Now, I don't know whose cards these are. I've had them for a long time. Scrapbook paper, and then this is a pattern for doll clothes. I wanted the most interesting edge of the paper to wrap around the front, so that's why this one wrapped around on this edge, and this one is wrapping around on this edge. And I will sew around these like this. This one is complete. I sewed all around the edge, and then I zigzagged down that edge. So you do have a zigzag line on the back. But like I said, you do not have to sew any of these. You can just glue and take away these stitching lines here. And this is what it would look like. And it's a nice card. You don't have to have sewing around it. So this one is a quilt image from Mrs. Coggs Crafts card, and the rest are these fashion images. Were these tailor-made journals? I don't think so. I have a lot of stuff from her. And this was such a huge set. There's a lot of cards in this set. And I've used quite a few in various journals. So her sets are always big, so that's why I was wondering if it was her. But I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, I was also going to say, I wasn't thinking about the edge that was going to fold over here, and this was the best edge, but I already had this sewn on, so this is the wide opening. So this is on upside down, but who's going to notice? The printing is upside down, but it's fine. And one more. Well, this isn't cut straight. It's wider up here than it is down here, but if I don't like it, I can always add some ribbon or washi tape or something to the edge of it to kind of even it out. So these are all doll clothes patterns. It just looks a little bit uneven. another fabric washi. That is project number 2. I'll just have to sew around the other ones. We have 5 cards. And you can write on the backs, even though they have the pattern on them. Lastly, I did all of the work on them except for embellishing them. So these are, I thought this was a really unique idea. I saw a card or a tag that had a children's book illustration, and above it, it wasn't this. I can't remember what it was now. But I made a note that I wanted to use technical images because I have a lot of technical designs and images, diagrams. So I made some, like a large journaling card. And this one is all no color. It's cream and white with black design. This is, I think it's the Chicken Little story. And this was such a thin paper, you can see the graphic that's behind it on the other side of the paper too. So I glued them to cardstock pieces and then sewed all the way around, and I sewed across there too. But here I'm going to add a piece of washi tape with color. I'm just looking at my washi tape here. I have a 3-tier drawer unit thing up above my head. Maybe this one. And this is for overflow. There was designed for washi tape up there. They're trays that pull out and then tip down so I can see them really well from my chair. This is a black, well, gray and white gingham with some flowers on it, so I think that's cute for that. And these will probably end up with lace or fabric or something on the tops. Okay, so then to finish these up, I have postage stamps. And these other little pieces here I can use for my little box. But I brought the postage stamps over. And I want, here, I'll show you. I have my little ones in the front. Is that upside down? These are upside down. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why these, I guess it's just this page is upside down. Okay, so I have my little ones in the front, and they get progressively bigger, and I want a longer piece. I would like to have some stamps that are connected. I tried to leave some connected. And I did have bigger pieces in a pouch. I guess I put them in here. Yeah, here we go. Some bigger pieces of stamps. pull these all out and see what we have. And in the bag, I just have digital stamps. So let's start with this one. This one is a page from a Richard Scarry book, and it had this old tape on it. So I made sure I included that on this tag. This says gardening, horticulture, U.S. postage, 3 cents. And so instead of gluing that down, the one I saw, I believe it was loose. They just attached it at the top and left it loose. And I don't know if it was glued to a piece of paper. I think I will glue it to something thin to protect it. So I think maybe I will get some thin craft paper for that. So this is craft color, but it's paper, not cardstock. I don't want that to get damp and then stick to this. But I think I can just use a glue stick on it because it is gummed. And I will just staple that. This is a cute animal story, and I love this diagram up here. I'd like to use this. I really love the Philadelphia, PA 50, it says on it. And these are 2-cent stamps. And there's no date on the stamps. I have 5 of these also, of these tags. I think I'll use this on this one. And I don't like the fact that if I put it there, it lines up exactly with that line. I could trim that part off and move it up, but I don't want to. So I'm going to put this one on the side. This is already on craft paper. Mm, 2022, it says. So it's not that old. I could just glue that down instead of having it loose. I think I'll do that. Got some little die cut numbers in here. I could put that one on the line. I think I moved my camera, didn't I? I think I kicked it. We have Queen Elizabeth, and it's in 2 pence, 68 pence. I think it's a P. It's capital P. I don't know. I'm assuming it's pence and not pound. But what do I know? I've never been to England. Actually, I have a postage scissor here. This one I will staple. I don't know why. I have no rhyme nor reason for stapling or gluing. This was pretty white on the borders, so I'm going to use some vintage photo ink. And one more. Guess I'll use that again. All right, let's take a look at what we did today. I had 5 of these and 5 of these and 10 of the index cards. Oops, got to put that on. So as soon as I turn the camera off, I will glue this on. These last, I think it was 3 I needed to glue. So we have that and that. This cute one with the little bunny and butterfly. And then we have 5 of these cards. And I will sew around them. Like this one. I love the blues in this one. And 5 of these tags or large journaling cards. So you can lift up this flappy, anything that's just stapled on the edge, you can lift them up and see underneath. Even this one. I love this, the illustrations in this little book. Very cute. I'm happy with these 20 pieces that I got done today. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Thank you for coming along with me. I'd like to do more videos like this. Tell me if you're very interested in them. I'm going to talk to you in another video about my channel and its subscribers and views and stuff like that. But that's for another video. So come on back and we'll chat some more. Thanks for coming with me today, and I hope that you are having a creative day. Let me know if you want to try any of these or adapt them somehow for your own style, and just let me know how this helped you. I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye.